Chee-hoo, my friends. Aloha kakahiaka. This is Billy Wigley coming at you live from the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. Woo! All right. How's everybody doing so far out there? Let's see. I think I got a couple people out there. What's up, Stanley? How are you
Hey,
today?
good morning. Finally, we meet in person.
Absolutely. I see your name all the time, but I've never actually seen you. Where are you at, Stanley?
I am in the Houston, Texas area.
Oh wow. My sister lives in Spring.
No kidding. We're in
Yeah.
Tomball. Yeah, we're in
Okay.
Tomball. Yeah, so
I was going to high school at Westfield High School back in like 1980 something. I
I
think it
know the
was a lot different back then.
I know the school.
And Tomball was far. I was on 1960 and I-45 somewhere right in there, that area,
Right,
Ponderosa.
right. It
And
would
Tomball was like a whole nother.
oh,
Now it's not that
yeah,
far.
yeah.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to hide everybody. There's going to be a few of y'all that are watching this on YouTube, some of y'all on Facebook, LinkedIn. Remember that the chat is available for you. So go right ahead. And if you got any questions, just ask in the chat. And inside the description, there's a link for you to download the Excel workbook that we're going to be working on right now. So let's go right ahead and let's get right into it. And what we're going to be learning today is we're going to be learning some 3D referencing. And what we've got here is our Excel workbook that we're going to be working on and 3D referencing. So let's go right ahead and do a little bit of 3D referencing. Right here, we got a 3D model, and I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert 3D models. I'm going to click on this little drop down right there. And let's see what kind of 3D model I can do. Start 3D models. And how about if I go with some toys and let's put a ship in here because, there was a ship incident this week. So let's insert this 3D model right in here. And there's look at that. There's our ship right there, my friends. Did you know you could do 3D modeling in Excel? Look at that. Pretty cool, yeah? Well, we need to move that ship right on out of here. So let's just delete it. However, that's not actually what we're learning today, right? That's just a cool little feature in Excel. I went to Insert up in the ribbon, clicked on the Insert tab, went to Illustrations, 3D Models, and I just found it from stock 3D models in there. What we're doing today is we're going to go right ahead and do what's called 3D referencing in Excel. And it is a type of cell referencing. For example, what we got right here, I want you to notice right down here, I want you to notice that I've got quarter one, quarter two, right down here. I've got quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, and then I got a summary right here. In this summary is where we're going to put the totals right in here. We're going to build a formula inside each one of these cells. We're going to do it right in here first, and then we're going to just copy it on down. This formula is going to sum, for example, this one right now that we're going to put in this Hawaii field. It's going to sum all of the Q1 right here, Q1, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter of Hawaii. And it's going to put it right in here. And it's just a sum. And what we're summing are worksheets Q1 through Q4. And if you notice, when I built this workbook, everything is exactly the same. When we look at this cell right here, where the total for Hawaii is, this cell, that cell right there is cell F5. F5. Okay. So the total for Hawaii is in cell F5 in Q1, Q2. See right there? That's F5 right there. Then we've got Q3, F5 again. Then we got Q4, F5. So the total for Hawaii is in cell F5 in every single one of these worksheets. When we built that, we used grouping. So we made sure that everything was exactly the same. Or you can just build one sheet and then duplicate it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to exercise habit number 2 of highly effective people from the 7 habits of highly effective people. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. And that's what we always do in Excel. We always start at the ending, where we want the result to go. So because we want the result to go right here, we're going to sum Q1 through Q4 cell F5 and put it right in here. That's called 3D referencing. So the sum, the shortcut to sum is Alt equal, Alt equal. Now when you go to your home tab, and if you look on your home tab, your home ribbon, you go all the way to your editing group. In your editing group, you've got the sum function. And here you see that the shortcut for the sum function is Alt equal. All right, very good. So we're going to use the shortcut Alt equal. So I put my marquee where I want the formula to go, and I press Alt equal. Now Excel is saying, all right, you want to sum. What is it that you want to sum? What is it that we want to sum? Q1 through Q4, cell F5. So right now, Excel is waiting. You see the cursor? It's blinking right there. It's saying, all right, tell me what you want to sum. So I'm going to go right down to my worksheets. All right. Check out my worksheets right down here. And I'm going to select Q1 through Q4. I'm going to group them together, selecting Q1 through Q4. Once I have them all grouped, selected, then I'm going to click on the cell that I want to sum. Then I'm going to press enter and the formula is going to be set. Then I'm just going to double click on my autofill handle and copy the formula down. So step 1, make sure that all of your worksheets are properly set up. Then go to the cell where you want to put your result into. In this case, cell D5, where Hawaii grand total sales is going to go. I press Alt equal to put in the sum function. Now I'm going to go and group Q1 through Q4. So I'm going to click on Q1. Then I'm going to hold down the Shift key. So I press Q1. I'm going to hold down the Shift key. And then I'm going to press Q4. Now you see what's going on there? Everything's lit up, activated. In other words, I grouped Q1 through Q4. And you'll see Q1 is green. That means that Q1 is the active sheet right now. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I've gone and I've launched the sum function in the summary sheet. Excel said, what do you want to sum? So then I told Excel, I want to sum worksheets Q1 through Q4. So I grouped them. Now Excel wants to know specifically what is it in Q1 through Q4 that I want to sum. And that's going to be right here, cell F5, which is the total for Hawaii. So there we go. Now I click on F5. Now you see the marching ants marquee going around right there. Now let's take a look at the formula bar. When we look at the formula bar, we see what's building here. And what we have is we have the sum of worksheets Q1 through Q4. You see you've got these little quotation marks right here, or these single quotes. Whoops. These are single quotes right there and right there. That means that it's those worksheets. So it's a sum of worksheets Q1 through Q4. And then you've got this exclamation mark. That means foreign cell. And then it says F5. So this formula is the sum of worksheets Q1 through Q4, foreign cell F5. All right. So now, escape out of here. Now I'm going to go ahead and press enter. So I press enter and there it is. There's our formula, just like that. The sum of worksheets Q1 through Q4, foreign cell F5. Now all I got to do is just grab the autofill handle. Grab the autofill handle right there and then just double click. Click, click. Boom, we're done. Now I'm going to press the control tilde, this shortcut right here, control plus the tilde. That is right below your escape key. So I'm going to press the control tilde so that we can see all of the formulas. And here we have the sum of Q1 through Q4. And look at this, F5, F6, F7, F8. Relative cell referencing. So this right here, my friends, is called 3D referencing. And let's do this one more time really quickly. So habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. Now, just to give you a quick tip, if you want everything to look exactly the same, 2 ways you could do it. You could build your first quarter, and then all you have to simply do is just right click on the tab, your worksheet tab, and then just say move or copy. And then you want to create a copy. And then you can just duplicate, group those 2 sheets and create a copy of those 2. And then you have 4 identical ones, and then you can just rename them. Another way that you can make sure that you build everything exactly the same, all 4 sheets, I'm going to press Control N, the letter N, as in nice. So Control N opens up a brand new workbook. And let me just demonstrate really quickly how to group. So I'm going to go right down here to sheet 1. I'm going to add another sheet, 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. So I'm going to click on sheet 1. I'm going to hold down the shift key, okay? The shift key. Sorry, the shift key. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the shift key, press sheet 1. I always have a hard time with that one. Sheet 1, hold down the shift key and select sheet 4. All right. So now that you've done that, is you've grouped. See, if you look right up here at the name of your workbook, you've grouped your worksheets. So whatever you do inside any one of these sheets within the group is going to take place in the exact same spot in every single sheet in that group. So check this out, right? And then I'm going to control B it to bold it, and I'm going to control I to italicize it. And now watch this. So I'm going to go right down here to all my different sheets. So they're all identical because they're grouped. So to ungroup them, you can click outside of the group or just right click and ungroup. So there's sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, exactly the same. So that's one way where you can duplicate everything, one worksheet into multiple. The 2 ways I just showed you: copy the sheet or just group and build all 4 at once. So one more time, the summary sheet. We're going to do the shortcut for the AutoSum is Alt equal. There we go. So now Excel says sum what? Sum Q1 through Q4. So now we go back down, click on Q1, hold down the Shift key, click on Q4. Now tell Excel, what do we want to sum? Cell F5, enter, double click on the autofill handle, boom, go collect our paycheck. Just like that. Now, does anybody got any questions or anything? The chat is open. Stanley, my friend, how we
I,
doing?
I got a question already. If you ungroup those sheets, then does your formula fall apart?
No. Now, once the formula is in there, see right now, they're ungrouped. You only
Huh.
group them so that it's kind of, you remember that old school carbon paper they
Yeah.
used to put?
Yep.
Okay. When you're grouping, imagine that you got carbon paper in between each one of your worksheets. So whatever you do in one gets copied in the exact same spot in all of them. And then when you remove the carbon paper, you ungroup, you're fine.
Okay. So then, can you do this then using named ranges instead of a foreign cell reference?
Absolutely. That would be the next step. And we'll cover that in another session. But Stanley, definitely that's the way that we want to go. We want to go into defining name ranges. So you could easily just say some Hawaii,
Okay.
and that's
Excellent.
it. But that if you're already doing name ranges, keep doing it. It's only
Yeah.
going to keep getting better for you. And another thing that I would recommend is start turning your data ranges into tables.
I do
So
that too.
whenever you have excuse me?
I do that too. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we're all set. Anything else, Stanley?
So far, so good. Thank you.
All righty, sir. Well, thank you very much. Thank everybody that was on this. And then you can always catch the replay. Remember, my friends, I love you. And don't get mad. Get skills. Aloha.
Aloha.
Ooh, I got to finish that. I got to do that one more time for the recording. All right, my friends, remember, I love you. And most of all, keep on learning and don't get mad. Get skills. Aloha. Oops.